Hi, my name is Mohammed Mostafir and I'm the Head of Maths at WSO. I'm recording this presentation today to give you an insight of Key Stage 3 Mathematics here at WSO. So to start with, I'd like to introduce the team. We're very fortunate to have a wealth of experience in the Maths department with teachers from different backgrounds and from joining us from different countries around the world. And we're also very fortunate to have many teachers in the Maths department that have responsibilities across the school. The main person who I'd like to point your attention to on this particular slide is Mr. Joseph Gent, who will be overlooking Key Stage 3 this academic year. So all matters related to assessment, curriculum, dates, etc. will be in the hands of Mr. Joseph Gent. On this slide you can see the rest of the department. Feel free to pause the presentation at any point to have a look at your child's teacher or have a closer look at your child's teacher. So moving on to the essential equipment that we require for all students to have throughout the year. It's absolutely essential that your child comes to school with a pen that's blue or black, a pencil and a red or purple pen, which we use for students to mark their work and do response tasks, etc. This is really helpful for students because they can identify where they've maybe made errors in their work and corrected it with a different coloured pen. It's also essential for students to have rulers, protractors and compasses for when we need to use them in lessons on geometry. And it's also very important for students to have a scientific calculator. So I've put images of two of them on the screen. The one on the left is now discontinued and it's been replaced by the FX991CW. So if your child has the previous calculator, it's not going to be a problem. It should still work perfectly fine. And if they don't, and they have another scientific calculator, that's also perfectly fine for them to use Key Stage 3. We recommend these ones because they are also suitable for Key Stage 4 and 5 as your children move into those year groups. So next, you can see the Year 7 and Year 8 learning scheme. Now I appreciate the writing is quite small and may be difficult to read and follow, so I will be sharing a PDF document that contains all of this information, but essentially these are the topics and the lessons that your children will be going throughout Year 7 and 8. They do come from Sparks, which is an online platform that we use for homework and independent study, and I'll talk a little bit about that more in detail later on in this presentation. But these are the learning schemes that Year 7 and 8 will follow throughout the year. As far as the assessments are concerned, all students who join WSO in Year 7 will have set a baseline in September, and we use that information to put them in the most appropriate maths class according to their results, their ability and the pace at which we think they will benefit from. If your child's in Year 8 and they are a returning student, they will not have set a baseline because we have enough information and data on them from Year 7. And if your child is new to Year 8, they will have set a baseline so we can look at where they need to be placed as well. You can see on the screen it says CFU assessments and end of term assessments. So the CFU assessment stands for Check for Understanding. These are smaller topic tests that students in Year 7 and 8 will do every 2 to 3 weeks, and they're usually on topics that they've been learning in class. And these assessments normally last between 15 to 40 minutes depending on the length of the assessment. Sometimes it's 3 questions, sometimes it's 5 questions. Typically they're shorter, but it depends on the topic, and it's a good opportunity for us to identify any gaps in students' learning and if they have any misconceptions before they do the bigger end of term and end of year assessments. All these results will be published on Go for Schools, so you'll be able to access their results throughout the year. At the end of the year, students will sit an end of year assessment, so that's an internal assessment that students in Year 7 and 8 will sit, and they have the external assessments, which are the GL progress tests that they need to sit also. As far as home learning is concerned, so as I mentioned earlier, Sparks is a platform that we use for home learning. The home learning is set every Wednesday, and students have 1 week to complete the homework. The homework will typically last 30 minutes and is usually based on topics that will support them in terms of the classwork that they're doing, and also consolidate any prior learning so that they are ready for any assessments that they may have, and so they're able to retain all that they've learned throughout the year. The homework tasks will be set on Microsoft Teams by the classes, by your child's class teacher, so you can keep track of the homework that they're receiving and when it is due in. We do recommend that students have a book in front of them, because although it's online, students will need to take notes and write their working out, etc. on paper, so we recommend that students use their maths books whilst they're doing their home learning on Sparks. As far as class setting is concerned, so students in Year 7 and 8 are taught in sets. Those sets are 1K, 1M, 2K, 2M, 3K and 3M. The important information here is that K and M have no distinction. They are both equally strong in terms of ability. However, there is a set 1, a set 2 and a set 3. I'd like to point out here that students who are in set 1, set 2 and set 3, there are opportunities throughout the year for children to move into different sets. This has to be based on the performance, the data, conversations with the teacher, homework submission, effort in class. We take in consideration a multitude of factors, and therefore we use that information to place students in their sets based on merit. However, I will say that all students in set 1 all the way to set 3 will be covering the same content throughout the year. The only thing that will differ from class to class is the pace at which the content is covered. So it's not to say that some students will miss out on curriculum content. They will all receive the same lessons on the same topics. However, there might be some classes that will move at a slightly faster pace, because those students are able to grasp concepts and retain those concepts at a quicker rate than others. Nonetheless, it's not uncommon for students in set 2 and 3 to achieve the best grades. We have many examples of students in the summer from year 11 who were not in set 1 but were still able to achieve grades 8s and 9s because they focused and they worked and they applied themselves, and as I mentioned, they covered all the topics, so there's no reasons why they can't achieve the best possible grades. Finally, if you'd like to support your children at home, we have a few recommendations. One of them being, again, Sparks, which is, as I mentioned, the home learning platform. However, there is a tab in Sparks that is independent learning. So each topic that's on the scheme of work that you'll receive will also have a Sparks code attached to it. So children can go onto Sparks, search for the Sparks code, and look at a topic that they're maybe not too confident on or want more practice in, and they can attempt those questions and watch videos around that topic to boost their confidence and improve their fluency and problem-solving skills in those topics. We also have Corbett Maths and Maths Genie, which we recommend. These websites have free printable worksheets, and students can use them again to practice extra questions and practice exam-style questions. For those of you who might prefer a book, the books that I've put on the screen at the moment are available on Amazon, and they are the ones that we'd recommend for the whole of Key Stage 3 or Year 7 and Year 8. I hope you found this presentation useful. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Send me an email and I'll be in touch. As I said, I hope you found this informative and useful. Thank you very much.